Lovely. Okay. Hey, hello to everyone that's joining us. Just going to give it a minute or two just to make sure we've got everyone, and then we'll be able to get started. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds or so just so we make sure everyone's in with us, and then we'll get started. Alrighty, I think that's a good time frame. So welcome everyone to our webinar this afternoon for pharmacy. So I will just go through a little bit of housekeeping at the beginning, but just to introduce myself. My name is Charlotte Walker. So I work at the Tasmanian Future Students team. And so I'll be sort of running a little bit of the admin at the beginning of the webinar, but we've got a wonderful professional academic, the expert in the field here to join us, who will actually be telling you all the actual things about pharmacy that you want to know. So before we go any further, as always, we will acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, which here in Tasmania is the Palawa Pakana people of Lutruwita. We pay respect to the elders past and present as the knowledge holders and sharers, and acknowledging and respecting the people here in Tasmania is something that we find very important, that we are proud of, and we embed into many of our courses here at Tasmania, at the University of Tasmania, I should say. All right. What are we going to cover in today's webinar? So quickly, we'll look at the University of Tasmania as a whole, and then we're really going to jump into pharmacy, the who, the what, the why, the where of that course. And then we will have a chance at the end for a Q&A. So I'm not sure if you can see everyone on the screen, but joining me, I've got Ryan from my team who's going to be helping answer questions in the Q&A. And I also have Tanya, my colleague from the international team, who will be able to answer questions for international people, international students, as well as we'll cover a little bit of entry and fees towards the end of the webinar as well for anyone who is an international student watching today. Down the bottom of your screen, you will see the Q&A option. If you have any questions, please put them into the Q&A, not the chat. Everyone will stay on mute for the webinar, so we'll handle all the questions there. We may be able to write in a response to your question, or we might be able to address it live. We'll do a bit of both as we go. So please feel free to put them in as we run through the webinar. You don't have to wait to the end to put your questions in. So just briefly on the University of Tasmania. So as the name suggests, we are the university for the island of Tasmania. We're very proud about graduate outcomes and our student satisfaction that we have here at the uni. We're based in 3 campuses across Tassie, in Hobart in the south, Launceston in the north, and we also are in the northwest of Tasmania in Burnie, or what we call the Cradle Coast campus. We do have a small footprint in Sydney as well at Roselle for pharmacy and nursing, sorry, paramedicine and nursing, but pharmacy is based at our Tasmanian campuses. We're also #1 in the world for climate action, something the university has been very proud of for the past few years and really is embedded increasingly across all of our courses. Enough from me. I'm going to hand over to our experts here. So we have Dr. Daniel with us today, who is going to drive most of this presentation. And I'll let you take the reins now.
Thank you very much, Charlotte.
No worries.
Very kind introduction. Welcome everyone to this session on learning a bit more about what the Bachelor of Pharmacy and the Diploma of Pharmaceutical Science contains. I am the course coordinator for the Bachelor of Pharmacy at the University of Tasmania, and I teach several units across this degree. And I was once a student here as well, so I did do my undergraduate degree here before becoming a pharmacist and coming back to do a PhD. So can't really get away, but back here today to talk a bit more about it. So we're just going to the next slide, please, Charlotte. Cheers. So my first question, I guess, is what do pharmacists do? Um, you're probably looking across these photos and you might recognize the community pharmacist, which is one of the more common places that we see pharmacists. But pharmacists actually work across a huge spectrum of different jobs. So community pharmacists only represent around 50% of all pharmacist jobs. There's also pharmacists in the hospital, in compounding suites, in research, in industry, so working with drug companies, lots of different roles. Just going to the next slide, please, Charlotte. Cheers. So here's some of the examples, I guess, in terms of the pharmacist role. So it's much more broader than the traditional community pharmacy role. You see here, hospital, government agencies, military, aged care is a emerging role where we see pharmacists embedded in aged care these days, working with GPs in the GP clinics, across academia like myself and research, and also working, as I said before, in industry and medical writing. Move across again. Some of these slides just rehash the same thing that we talked about, just in a bit more detail, I guess, around what some of these roles entail. We have community pharmacists there, which talk about, or which whose job entails dispensing prescriptions, providing advice, calling the doctor, calling other healthcare professionals, and organizing that community patients' medications. Whereas we've got consultant pharmacists next, who are referred by the patient's prescriber to visit people in their own homes or in an aged care facility, and they provide more in-depth clinical advice. Hospital pharmacists, again, more clinically involved compared to a community pharmacist. They check over therapeutic drug monitoring, look over bloods. They liaise with all the hospital teams and also ensure that the patient is understanding of what medications they're on before they go home. With the industry pharmacist, wide range of roles. Could be working as a medical science liaison with a drug company, could be in sales, could be in research, a lot of different spots. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, we did very briefly touch on hospital pharmacy. Within hospital pharmacy itself, there are general hospital pharmacist roles, but they can also have lots of different specialities as well. So within clinical pharmacy, we've got things like antimicrobial stewardship, where the pharmacist's job is solely to ensure that antibiotics are used appropriately. They can have jobs in endocrinology, in drug use evaluation, palliative care, geriatrics, a whole range of different specialities. And I'll just get Charlotte to move on, sorry. And one of the major things here is the role of the pharmacist touches so many different areas because they're involved in the development of drugs and explaining the effects that the medicines have on the human body. But they just, I guess, touching on so many different areas where medicines are involved. So that's why the jobs can be so vast in terms of those career outcomes. So pharmacists are the medicines experts, and that's their sole trade, is being those medicine experts, and they apply their clinical knowledge to a variety of different practical situations and they are essential to the healthcare system here in Australia and elsewhere. Just move on. Now, I did want to make it relatively brief, that overview of all the different roles we talked about just then. And that's because I want to draw your attention to this picture here. So that was me, a fresh-faced 18-year-old graduating year 12 from St Brendan Shaw College, which is located in the north of the state. Like many of you, I stood at a major crossroads with my career, options on the table, and medical research was high on my list. But I also wanted a degree that offered flexibility and long-term security. So my father's advice was pivotal at that point. He helped me see pharmacy not just as a job, but as a versatile qualification. And while a career as a practicing pharmacist offers great job security and great pay, the degree itself is a powerful passport. So it provides the core knowledge to pursue virtually any career in medicine, science, or public health, including medical research, which I initially desired and which is now a significant part of my day-to-day role. So the key message, I guess, I want you to take from this slide is that you're graduating with a Bachelor of Pharmacy, which is not a single destination to becoming a pharmacist, but it's a world of opportunity. It's the degree that's going to open doors to lots of different areas of medicine. We'll just move on from this point. So I guess when you're looking at pharmacy programs, you've got to work out what differentiates the UTAS program to different programs offered around Australia. And one of the main things is that we have this 3-year degree, and that's a relatively new update and one of the only degrees in Australia that is run via this fast track mechanism. So it is Australia's first accredited fast track pharmacy degree, where we have 3 semesters per year or 3 study periods per year, allowing students to finish the degree a whole year earlier and become a pharmacist a whole year earlier. So it gets you right into the thick of it. We have cutting edge and innovative practical work. So we have a large network of pharmacists that we work with across Australia to ensure that our students have significant amount of practical experience to show what it's really like to work in that pharmacist job or in that pharmacist job. For as long as I can remember, we've had very strong employment prospects. I can't remember a point in time where we haven't had 100% of our graduates secure full-time work within 4 months after graduating. So people who graduate from our course are highly employable. And we also pride ourselves on our small class sizes. So our practical labs have a class size of around 1 to 8, workshops around 1 to 10. So very small class sizes, allowing us to really interact with each student, ensuring that everyone gets the best possible learning that they can. All right, so touching back again on the placement side of things. So overall, throughout the program, we have around 430 hours of placement. Initially, these placements are located in the local regions or around Tasmania, depending on your preferences. But as you get towards the end of the degree, where there's significantly more placement, we start to see placements in a large array of areas. So we have Australia, we have international placements, for example, in New Zealand, the UK, Canada. In terms of, I guess, my experience of placements, I did my placement at Port Douglas, which is amazing. It's a beachy destination. It's really lovely to spend a few weeks there while working in a community pharmacy. But main thing here, so there's a broad range of different placement opportunities that we provide, both in hospital, in community, and also in industry and working with more specialty services as well. So you might be thinking, is pharmacy right for me? And generally, the students who tend to enjoy pharmacy are those who have an interest in health, biology, maths, and chemistry. And although we require a prerequisite completion of math and chemistry subjects, some students who don't necessarily excel in those areas, but are satisfactory in those areas, I should say, they end up making great pharmacists because they're great in other areas, particularly communication. People who can communicate with other people and want to talk to other people often become really excellent pharmacists. So there's a few different pathways to enter into the Bachelor of Pharmacy program. The first pathway, as you can see on the left here, is through direct entry via the ATAR score. Sorry, lost it. With the ATAR score or the school's recommendation program and completion of our prerequisites. So that's general mathematics and chemistry at the pre-tertiary level. So completion of those 2 subjects and an ATAR score of 70 will provide direct entry into the Bachelor of Pharmacy program. Now, if you are from another country, you may be looking at those requirements and thinking, how does that work? So there are equivalencies across different countries, and there is the possibility to have these assessed and entry gained based on those equivalencies with our chemistry and mathematics. So once you enter into the Bachelor of Pharmacy with Honours program, that's a 3-year degree. And after that point, you can obtain a paid internship for 1 year. And that gives you the eligibility to sit your final examinations with the Australian Practitioner Regulation Agency, which allows you to become a fully registered pharmacist. Now, if you don't happen to gain the required marks in terms of your ATAR score, or you don't complete the mathematics or chemistry prerequisites to the satisfactory level, then there is the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies option as well. So the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies is a one-year diploma, and that completes several subjects that will help you gain entry into the Bachelor of Pharmacy program. Additionally, there are two subjects that are taught within the Bachelor of Pharmacy with Honours program that are also taught in the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies that you will receive credit for. So you receive 25 points of credit, or two subjects, or two units, I should say, worth of credit in the Bachelor of Pharmacy with Honours program if you did want to complete the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies first. Again, after entry into the Bachelor of Pharmacy with Honours, you can complete that after 3 years, moving into a paid internship. Again, a one-year internship then leads on to sitting the final examinations to be a generally registered pharmacist. But I'm happy to take any questions on that as we go through as well. Let's move on from this point. Okay, so in terms of locations, we have the primary location being in Hobart with our largest cohorts down here, given that it is our traditional home spot for pharmacy. But we also have beautiful locations in Launceston and Cradle Coast, and some subjects are online as well. The online availability is particularly important for our Diploma of Pharmacy, which allows you to gain entry into the Bachelor of Pharmacy. But broadly, most of the Bachelor of Pharmacy is a hands-on, face-to-face type of program delivered across Hobart, Launceston, and Cradle Coast. So actually, I just realized this slide is mainly about the Diploma of Pharmacy, of course. So available in Hobart, Launceston, and Cradle Coast online. It's a stepping stone into the Bachelor of Pharmacy, as we talked about before. You can have the option, by completing the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies, you also get 2 units credit into the Bachelor of Pharmacy. It's got an interdisciplinary mix, so it will cover your basic sciences as well as pharmacy and pharmacology and general university studies as a part of that Diploma of Pharmacy Studies, which helps you to really get prepared for study at the University of Tasmania. For domestic students, we have Commonwealth supported places available for the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies, and it's not a quoted course, so we encourage everyone to apply if they would like to go down that Diploma of Pharmacy Studies pathway. In terms of the entry requirements, there's no ATAR requirements, but to be eligible for an offer, applicants must have completed a TCE or equivalent qualification. In terms of domestic applicants with VET or TAFE study, to be eligible for an offer, you need to have completed Cert 3 qualifications. And there can also be applications based on work or life experience, particularly if you worked in pharmacy for a while, let's say as a pharmacy assistant. This program may benefit you in terms of your ongoing employment, but also in terms of getting into the Bachelor of Pharmacy program. And also, we have the Bachelor of Pharmacy with Honours program. So that's available as a face-to-face degree in Hobart, Launceston, and Burnie. So the course involves a combination, as we said before, of lab-based practical work, workshops, professional experience, working integrated learning with other healthcare professionals, interprofessional learning, lots of different opportunities in terms of that degree, getting you prepared to work as potentially a pharmacist at the end, but also a variety of different roles, as we talked about earlier today. There are Commonwealth supported places for domestic students, and it is not a quota course. So again, we encourage everyone to apply. So we discussed this briefly before, but the minimum ATAR is 70, and we require that maths and chemistry, general math level 3, I should specify, it is required to gain entry into the Bachelor of Pharmacy. If those entry requirements haven't been met, which happens a fair bit, there are units that you can complete in the summer period prior to the Bachelor of Pharmacy degree starting. And upon successful completion of these units, whether they be math or chemistry, depending on what is deficient in your application, upon completing these units, you can gain entry into the Bachelor of Pharmacy program. Yeah, so we've got the course plan here, which goes through roughly what you study from year to year. We are moving into semester 1, semester 2, and spring study semesters going forward. You may ask, actually, I'll leave the fun facts towards the end. The semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, or spring study period to start with covers foundational sciences with anatomy and physiology for healthcare, as well as more sciencey subjects like the molecular basis of pharmaceutics. We then moved through the program into more heavier pharmaceutical or pharmacy-based subjects, and it becomes very clinical towards the end with a lot more practice-based skills taught as you finish up the degree. But I might leave that. Might leave any questions there open to whoever wants to ask questions. Now, there are scholarships to support students while studying. We have the Rural Student Scholarship, which is worth $10,000 per year for any student from a rural location, and there's at least 30 of these scholarships awarded nationally per year, which is amazing. We have the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Pharmacy Scholarship Scheme, which is $15,000 per year. And also, we have our own University of Tasmania scholarships and bursaries. We have the Pharmacy Undergraduate Scholarship, which is available for any Tasmanian, and that's $3,000 per year. And there's also other scholarships that often come up and are available via this website that we have here. All right, so some of the frequently asked questions that come up is around part-time study. And part-time study is available particularly over the first year, if not the first 2 years. But we do like to see a transition towards more full-time study towards the end of the degree to facilitate all the placements that the students generally have to undertake. In terms of undertaking this degree, if you're not good at maths or chemistry, we talked about it before, but if you're not good at maths or chemistry, but you are meeting that satisfactory level, you can still enter this course. And we find that most of the pharmacists that end up becoming really great pharmacists are those who are good at communication rather than these hard sciences. Now, how can students meet prerequisites if they did not study TCE, math, or chemistry, or the equivalent? As we mentioned before, there is the option to complete, or I should say this again, there is the option to gain a conditional offer to the B Farm based on an ATAR score, and then complete the maths or pre-chemistry units over the summer through our programs here. Now, if needed, if that ATAR score isn't met, students can complete the Diploma of Pharmacy Studies, where students can gain, I guess, experience of different pharmacy subjects, as well as more general university studies to prepare them for university level study. And that also provides 2 units worth of credit into the degree as well. And lastly, the last question we often get asked is around that summer break. So traditionally, with the change to an accelerated or fast track model of pharmacy or Bachelor of Pharmacy, we haven't provided that long summer break that we traditionally have seen. But there has been changes made over the last year, and going forward, all students will have a study break of at least 8 weeks that begin from the end of the spring semester, which ends at Christmas time, and moves through into semester 1, which begins towards the end of February. So a big break over summer each year.
Lovely. All right, I'm going to take back over here. Thank you. Rest your voice. And don't forget, we can put questions into the Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to start popping them in now, and we can sort of start looking towards them at the end of the webinar. So just a little bit of, I guess, not housekeeping, but just general support that the university offers here. So there is plenty of support for all students who want to come to University of Tasmania, and we sort of have broken up into 3 areas here. So as a student, you do have access to study support. So something that we run is peer assisted study sessions, which are units, optional workshops of study that you can do that are run by students who did well in that unit the year before. So you are hearing from someone who has just completed the unit and succeeded in that unit. And so it's supplementary to the actual lectures and workshops and labs that you're doing alongside so it's complementary to your compulsory learning is what I should be saying. So students who do past sessions tend to do really well in that unit themselves, but you also can attend learning workshops, reach out to one of our student advisors if you're needing help managing your workload or adjusting your study plan. But we also have more mental health support and counselling as well. So all students who are at the University of Tasmania are eligible to attend a number of counselling sessions per year. And that can be as simple as, I find I'm procrastinating a lot. Can you give me some assistance or a management plan to help me manage my workload, through to if something has actually happened that's quite serious or you're struggling a lot, then please reach out. And all of this study support is available for all students, easily accessible online. And then we also have career guidance as well. So you might find that, especially towards the end of your degree, that you might start reaching out to the careers team and see what sort of opportunities are available. Another thing I'd like to touch on is cost. So this is something that we do get lots of questions about, and fair enough, because you are paying for your degree eventually. So for a domestic student, we currently don't have a total cost of a course listed on the website like you will see for an international student. And that is because the cost of your course is determined by the individual units you enroll in. So the Bachelor of Pharmacy and the diploma are both covered under a Commonwealth supported place, which means part of the cost of each unit is subsidised by the government, and then you cover the remaining amount. And that is what most domestic students will be putting onto their HEX loan. So sometimes called HEX, sometimes called HELP. It's essentially a government loan to help you cover your fees. There is also the student services and amenities fee, which is like an administrative fee applied to each unit as well. So with HEX, it means that you can basically defer repaying your fees until you're only earning over 67,000. So that change has come through at the second half of this year. As Daniel touched on, we do have lots of scholarships available, both specifically for pharmacy students, but also you might be a high achieving student, or you might be active in your community, you might be active in sport and join one of our sporting teams. You might have to relocate to study, and you might be living in student accommodation. So there's lots of different criteria that these scholarships apply for, and we would encourage you to apply for as many as possible. If we're looking at the intake for 2026 into pharmacy, a fair amount of our scholarships do close on the 31st of October, so not too far away, just a couple of days at the time we're doing this webinar. But there are some that still remain open through to December, January or February. So we've provided the link to the scholarship page, and if you just Googled UTAS scholarships, it will come up, and every single scholarship you look at, it will tell you the closing date. So as long as you're meeting that closing date, you'll be considered for that scholarship, and you can register and do that online alongside your course scholarship. Course application, I should say. And with that course application for a domestic student, it is easy as applying online. You need to tell us who you are, what you've studied in the past, and what you want to study with us. Essentially is the 3 pieces of information that you need. You then wait, you receive an offer, and once you've received an offer, you can accept it and enroll in it. That offer might be conditional, as mentioned, that you have to meet the maths, for example, prerequisite. So if you're currently in year 12 and you're studying the right level of maths, you'll be fine. If you know you haven't met the maths, or you're not sure what to do, then that's when we would look into that prerequisite with you. So that's just as easy a process to help you into that. And you can do that over summer to meet the requirement for the February start date. And then once you are eligible to enroll, you enroll in your units and you get started in the course in February, and we can help you with all of that along the way. I'll pass over to Tanya here, who can take over and talk about international students.
Thank you, Charlotte. That was a really good rundown of the process for domestic students. So I'll just talk a little bit briefly about international student fees, scholarships, and the application process. So just moving on to the next slide. I've just given a very brief overview here. Can you go down to the next slide? Thank you. So for international students, the application process is a little bit different, and there is a different portal that you need to apply through. It is through the same link that you can access that portal. So if you just go onto our main website, which is utas.edu.au/studies/apply, you'll see the various different groups, the various different sections for different applicants, and one of them is international applicants. So you'll be able to click on a link there and start your application through there. Fees can be found by clicking on the international tab. So in the chat, you'll see that Ryan has provided a link to I think it's right at the top, to the course and unit handbook. So that's the course page. If you go to the course page, you'll see at the top there is a tab called International Students. So if you click on that, you'll be able to see everything that is relevant to international students, and you'll be able to see the fees there for international students. So I think, that Ryan has popped that into the chat again. Thank you very much. That's really helpful. So if you go into that link there, you'll see the international tab, and you'll be able to see the course fees for international students. So they're very different. It's not quite as complicated as it is for domestic students, because there is just one fee that you pay, and you have to pay that upfront per semester. So it is just the one fee that you'll see sitting there. We do have a couple of scholarships for international students. So at the moment, we're offering an early acceptance scholarship, and that is for students who accept by the 15th of December. That's a 15% fee reduction for the duration of the degree. We also have the Tasmanian International Scholarship, which is a performance-based scholarship or merit-based scholarship. And yep, you can access those at the link that Ryan has put into the chat there. And the Tasmanian International Scholarship, we do package with the Early Acceptance Scholarship for an overall fee reduction of 35% for each year of the program. The great thing is, for international students, there's no separate application process. So once you submit an application for the program, for your course, we will consider you for the scholarship automatically. And if you're successful in gaining a scholarship, it will be included in your offer letter. So you'll be able to just accept that offer, and it'll automatically accept for the scholarship as well, provided you accept by the 15th of December. So moving on to the next slide. If you do want to reach out to us, there are various different ways that you can contact us. We have quite a few country managers based all over the world in several different countries. If you have a look at utas.edu.au/study/international/contact, there will be a list of all the country managers there, as well as other ways that you can reach out to us. You can also book an appointment with us for a time to chat with us. And we also have an email address, which is your.study@utas.edu.au. That email again is your.study@utas.edu.au. We do monitor that every day, so you should receive a response to that email within 24 hours. Otherwise, you can just reach out to one of our country managers through the International Student webpage there as well. So that is it from us. And that Ryan has put that email address in the chat as well for you. So you can reach out to us at that email address. So thank you. That's it from me.
Lovely. Thank you, Tanya. Okay, dokie. So we do have time for the Q&A now. Now, looking at the Q&A, I think we've got a very quiet group today. So please feel free to pop your questions in and we'll be able to answer them live. While we wait to see if anyone does have any questions, another popular question that we do get, I was hoping you might be able to answer, Daniel, is just what in sort of, I guess, your experience, the cohort mix that you get within the Bachelor of Pharmacy? Is it mostly Year 12 students, or is it a nice mix between Year 12 students and maybe adult learners or people who've done TAFE? Like, what sort of mix do we have?
It's a real mix. It's a real big mix. It depends from year to year, but generally, I mean, you have your cohort of Year 12 leavers. In the last few years, in particular, we've had a lot of pharmacy assistants who've wanted to become a pharmacist. They're coming back to uni at the age of 30 or 40 or 50. So a real big mix in terms of mature age students. A lot of international students as well. So around 40% of the cohort would be around international students too.
Okay, lovely. And roughly, how many sort of students are we getting at each campus? Or you mentioned small class sizes, which is really great for that one-on-one relationship building with your teaching staff. But sort of how big are the overall cohorts looking, if you can even talk to that?
I mean, in our graduating year group this year, we have around 40 in Hobart, around, I'd say about 15 in Launceston and 10 in Cradle Coast. So very small numbers up in the north and northwest, but that leads to more engagement, I guess, if your lecturers are there as well.
Yeah, it really leads to that really sort of close getting to know lecturers, and then we've got that really fantastic graduate outcome. So that's actually really, really great.
The facilities up there are amazing as well. They're the brand new facilities in Launceston and the Cradle Coast that overlook beautiful views and state of the art technology as well to help student learning. We've revamped all our laboratories down here, which is really amazing as well.
Wonderful, lovely. All right, this is a very quiet group that we have with us today, so we don't have any questions. So we'll leave it open for a few minutes while we see if anyone is just quietly typing away and they haven't come through yet. We'll probably give it about 5 more minutes and then we'll wrap up. But is there anything extra that you wanted to say or add while we see if anyone has any questions for us? Put you on the spot a bit there.
Yeah. I mean, if you can
I just, sorry,
ahead, Tanya,
Daniel.
sorry. No, go ahead.
There is, the pharmacy is offered in Launceston as well at Inverest?
It is.
Yeah, okay. Is that in the new building?
It's in the shed.
In the shed?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a new building, but it's a fabulous building. Yeah, it's got incredible state-of-the-art facilities there. So we've just been down there taking lots of photos and things. So yeah, it is lovely.
It's amazing down there, and I really love the Cradle Coast campus as well. It has the view over the Bass Strait and all the clinical rooms. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I've just got a question that's come in. So the title with honours, so just a student clarifying whether they would need to apply for the honours portion, or is it assigned by the teaching staff of the schools? I'm guessing they mean the project that you do within the honours, or can you speak a little bit, I guess, more to how that honours year works and
definitely
how it runs through for students?
Yeah, so the honours program is integrated within the Bachelor of Pharmacy. We have students learn certain research skills that they can apply into their pharmacy career. And it's capstone with a unit that I take, which is where they have to do some in-depth research around a particular topic of interest, an emerging topic, and provide some communication that goes towards a professional audience and or a public audience, and that caps off their learning experience of research methods, really. So just being able to interact with the research literature, critically appraise it, and utilize it in a clinical way is how we bring in our research skills in the Bachelor of Pharmacy, and that automatically gets applied at the end of the degree as a Bachelor with honours.
Lovely. And are students choosing their own sort of research project or focus there?
So there's a variety of topics that will be available. It's group work projects within the Bachelor of Pharmacy itself. However, if students did want to undertake a research specific honours, there's that option as well through the medical school.
Beautiful. Thank you. So they just come back with the same question that if you can't get the honours, that you'd still graduate in 3 years. But assuming that the answer to that question is that you have to do the honours and it's integrated.
It's a part of it, yeah. So it's 3 years for everyone. There's only one program, and everyone completes with a Bachelor of Honours. Sorry, Bachelor with Honours.
Yeah. So it is and it would be compulsory for the registration with that at the end.
It is,
as well. Yeah.
Oh, well, the registration is a bachelor degree or higher.
Yep.
But we've incorporated honours into our degree to bring in those research skills, which are quite critical for a contemporary pharmacist.
Wonderful. Perfect. Thank you. Alrighty. So just answered a few questions there. So I'm going to leave the Q&A open for about 5 minutes. If anyone who's left in wants to pop anything in. Thank you for those few questions that we had in. And we'll just see if there's anything else. But yeah, sorry, I did cut you off before. So if there was anything extra you wanted to say, Daniel.
I was just going to mention, if you are interested in the program or want to know any more information, please feel free to reach out to our team. So you can email pharmacy directly, and it will be directed to me at some point. So the email is pharmacy@utas.edu.au, and I'm more than happy to answer any queries you might have around the program or entry requirements.
Thank you. All right. So while we're just double checking, just wanted to say thank you for coming along and sharing your expertise this afternoon. And also to Tanya and Ryan for joining to help with the international students in the chat and stuff like that. So thank you to everyone for joining us today. I'm just going to pop myself on mute so that you don't all have to listen to the background noise of the office that I'm in. Any final questions, please pop them in. Otherwise, I'll wrap it up in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Cheers.
Alrighty, nothing else has come in, so we might just leave it there. So if you have any questions for our international team, please just reach out to the email that was provided, or you can reach out directly to the pharmacy team at pharmacy@utas.edu.au.
I'll put it into the chat as well. Yeah, that's right.
Great. So if you just didn't want to ask it in the chat, please feel free to reach out. But that one in the chat.
Sorry, I might have put it to the host and panelists. If someone, Ryan, if you'd like to send it out a bit more broadly, I don't know if I can actually do that.
I should be able to do that.
My options of hosting seems quite limited.
That's all good. Okay, so that one's in the chat. So I'll wrap it up there. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening, and hopefully you've learned a lot and feel a lot more confident in your choice in pharmacy at UTAS. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, Charlotte.
Thanks, Daniel. Have a good evening.
Have a good one. Catch ya.
Bye.